straight exploring from there, because that lake looks like a really long, big area to explore.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Gonzalez, and with me today is my good old friend J.E.
Hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. How are you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing good. I was driving out and about, and I've been out here in this area for a really long time now, 6 months. And there's this liquor store that I've always seen, and I've never gone in because I was like, it's fine, I'm not gonna go in there. But one day I decided to walk up and look inside, and I was like, oh, this place has been closed for like years. Like they haven't been open forever. And I look on the shelf, on the whiskey high end shelf, and I see this guy sitting there. It's a bottle of Nika coffee grain whiskey, and this was one of my favorite Japanese whiskeys way back, like years ago, like 5 years ago. But it's been really hard to find the last couple of years, and I found out it's because Nika has been not discontinuing, but has been massively like shortening how much they sell to the United States or whatever. And so you just can't find it that easily anymore. And so I saw that store open. The door was open, so I like ran in there. I was like, "Hey, are you guys open?" And they're like, obviously they weren't. Like he wasn't expecting anyone to walk in that night. And there was empty shelves everywhere. I was like, "Are you selling that bottle of whiskey?" He's like, sure. If you give me cash right now, I'll give it to you without tax." I was like, "Let's do it." And I gave him $100.
Registers aren't even on.
Yeah.
He owns the business, obviously.
Exactly. So he just gave me this bottle, and I'm super happy about it. I've had probably a shot and a half already, but it's delicious. It's amazing. Nika Coffee Grain, great whiskey, guys.
That's awesome. Playing Pokemon, survived Thanksgiving. I got pretty big. I don't like it because I have so for anyone who doesn't know, I was a big guy and then I became not so big of a guy. And then I have to work to not be a big guy because I love food. And I looked at a trend of like my weight because I keep track of it just in case. And right around November, there's a trend where it just starts going up like this. And I was like, man, those holidays get me. They get me good. And it's and October is a great month for me. I actually lose weight in October. But November, bad month. So getting back to it, because Thanksgiving leftovers are amazing. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was fine. We didn't really do anything too special. Just we went to a restaurant, ate Chinese food.
That's a very holiday specific thing, though.
I mean, it's the only thing open. So what are you gonna do? But it was great. I had like this lamb dish, fucking fantastic. I love lamb. Lamb is best meat, best red meat.
But those are not the meats we are talking about today. Today we are creating something new. Every week on We Are Not Game Devs, we imagine a brand new video game idea from our minds. Join in on the fun, be creative, and if you have your own unique video game idea or want to patch ours, write into appantgames@gmail.com. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 233rd IP. I wanted to go with this. I wanted to make a game where you're a character. At first, I thought about this game and I wanted to make a character who like ate garbage and then with that garbage would like spit it out or something and then make little garbage people like out of the waste, and then you would use those people to kind of progress through a level. And depending on how you ate garbage, these people would have different stats and then like different elements attached to it and could do different things. So if you could think of for your own mind Pikmin, where you have these little dweebs following you, with a mix of Kirby where you're absorbing powers into it and then having some kind of obstacle. I think it would be fun though if we added a sort of element where these little creatures can evolve almost or change their form and gain more powers as they kind of approach things in their environment and they get their own thing. But I also want to make it where if it faints and it goes, you'll see a little soul go up and then it'll just become garbage again. And then you can pick up some pieces and kind of recycle it, but it's never going to be the same. Permanent death.
I've got a little bit of a different vibe for you, but I think I like where my head's going with this. But what if, because to me it doesn't make sense to eat garbage and then throw it back up and then turn into a thing. What if your dude has a ability, and then this will be the whole game where you're just running around this game open world, or however you want to do it. In my head, it's like right now in my head it's kind of like a Yakuza open world where it's just one area but really in depth and really explorable. But the whole point of the game is to go visit this town's convenient shops, fast food joints, fine dining restaurants, and all that shit, and then just eat a whole bunch. And the whole game is for you to go get money to go eat at these restaurants to gain more food to eat, accumulate a bunch of garbage, and from the garbage that you eat, depending on what it came from, what the garbage is, you mash that garbage together to create your army.
Oh, and you know what would be great?
Like, add more onto them, and then like as they get damaged, they'll like take the garbage down.
Yeah,
and scavenge and build them back up, stuff like that.
And I can see a place that's like a seaside town with a mountainous backdrop area, with in between the mountains and the city, there's going to be a little forest, and then off to the other side there's a field, and you can do, and there's a city in the middle of it, and you can do quests for the people of it to get interesting garbage items, and maybe the whole moral of the game is someone else's trash is someone else's treasure. And you do quests for these eclectic NPCs who are giving you different things. So maybe like if you're doing quests by the beach, you're getting like seashells and seaweed and stuff of that nature. But depending on where you go, you can mix and match.
Yeah, I like
trash.
that. And like,
and there's rare pieces of trash too. You know, like in the forest, maybe there's like, this is, I don't know why my head did this, but there's a book, I think it's
Where the Wild Things Are.
No, it's the pig's head on a stick, where when all the little kids arrive on that island.
The something of
the Lord of the Flies. So I don't know why I thought of like, oh, you can find a parachute in the forest, and my brain was like, and there's a dead body in there. I don't know why I went that
like
far.
A sofa, like an abandoned sofa in the middle of.
That's
like,
way better.
forest.
Yeah, that's way better than what I was thinking. Or how about let's or make it fun, like radioactive waste somewhere.
Yeah, but like if there is an abandoned sofa, you can't add that to your garbage collection until you've built up your garbage beasts big enough where they could incorporate a sofa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have
okay.
only like tiny little Pikmin like gum wrappers and shit, you can't just get a couch. You know what I mean? So you have to accumulate enough trash to get your guys big enough where now they can have a sofa as like a body. You know what I mean? But
yeah, or it can be
big.
And I think it'd be really cool to incorporate it in interesting ways that you wouldn't think. So they get the sofa, and maybe they have like a pillow cushion, like a pillow cushion, or they're using the sofa and it's like a whole weapon, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Where it becomes incorporated in interesting ways.
Depending on the garbage creature you're building, you could add it to a different portion of Garbage Man's. I also think it would be cool if, there's just like special hidden garbage around the world that's like special weapons in RPG. But like where they are will make sense. Like,
and yeah, I think this is all good. I was thinking, I'm sorry I interrupted you there, but no. I was thinking for the main enemy, maybe we'll have a corporation that's trying to clean up the town to like buy a major stake in it. And you've just been raised here, and with the townspeople, you're trying to clean up the garbage faster than they are. But maybe these people will be attacking your garbage children, your garbage. We'll find a name for them.
Maybe you find out that the government has been dumping a bunch of garbage into the city to make it look worse, so they can like pass a specific
develop
thing.
On it.
Yeah, that'll let them like just demolish it just because it's gotten so filthy. But you find out that it's like a government thing, and then for some reason you have the power to turn garbage to life by combining garbage together. I don't know why you would do that, but you just can. And then now it's your goal to clean up all the mess the government has been dumping all this shit, and while at the same time trying to disprove
What
And
if on some Studio Ghibli shit,
I'm fine
y-
with like being wild and
y-
crazy like that. Yeah.
you've lived on this island all your life. You're like 9 years old, and the spirits of the island come to you and decide to
Mm,
inhabit pieces of trash. And then maybe on your first when the first spirit comes to you, you get to choose between 3 or 4 pieces of trash, and then you get to choose which spirit it inhabits. But if it gets destroyed, all that trash goes away, and it can only inhabit one piece of trash from there again, and you can incorporate the other pieces into your the rest of your garboges. I don't know. We're gonna keep coming up with the name here,
yeah.
and
But I do
it
think
goes
that
from there.
I don't think it's just one trash man that you carry around with you. I think it's
No,
gonna
you'll have
be
a bunch
like,
of different spirits.
yeah, I
That's what
think
I'm
you'll have a
thinking.
bunch of different ones, and you yourself by adding different elements are building different trashmen that use different things and have different abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
But I
gonna
was
be
thinking
quite
at
like
their base
Pokemon.
level, it would be cool. Not like Pokemon, but
No,
at their
I think
base
it's
level,
yeah,
it would have like a Digimon feature where if your Trashman ended up getting destroyed, that spirit would just like come out of it, maybe make a cute squeal, and then be like a black blob, like kind of like a spirit wisp that's just sitting there and like rushes back to you.
yeah. Maybe we'll explain it by at any given time you could only have 6 spirit beasts, trash beasts with you, and then as you level up you could start gaining like more black goo to power the trash, you know, and then eventually you could have like
Yeah,
a garbage bag or a dumpster where you could keep your extra trash men, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
a
or yeah,
box of some
or
sort.
what will happen is you have a guard like maybe the trash will slowly degrade outside in the environment, but by putting it in a dumpster, your spirit is able to shed all the trash, leave it in there, and come out and like join you. So then you have some spare pieces. But
Yeah.
it's only the spare pieces that fill up
Well,
your
I was also
your
thinking you'll have
garbage.
a dumpster where you could keep like finished spirits that you want to keep for later use. You know what I mean? Like you have this giant sofa garbage man, but you're like, but I don't want you to disappear yet. So you stay in here while I like use my weaker guys, and I'll take you out
Right.
during the bosses and stuff. I think there will be a
The
cool mechanic where this whole idea spawned from for me, where yeah, you could go around town and eat at all the fancy restaurants, and that's how you get a lot of the like really good trash items for your beast, and like really fancy, you know how in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet there's like the fancy restaurants where they don't even show you what the meal looks like, it's just a menu, you gotta pick off the
yeah.
menu and then it does the animation. It'll be like that where you could go to these really fancy restaurants, you can go to these less fancy restaurants, and it'll all give you trash that give you specific special powers that you could only get at those restaurants. And you spend a whole bunch of money, you could get a better type of meal that would give you a better type of trash, like escargot shells or something like that. And then we could also have it so you could go around town, help people get rid of their trash that they don't need anymore. You could help
Yeah.
just clean up, and that could be kind of like a wild Pokemon thing where you just go around and you just pick up the trash that's just around town. Um,
And I think we can do it where there's going to be different quests from people who you do small things for unique trash things. Maybe there's going to be find quests where they send you off, and there's other people who, or you see town billboards that announce that they've seen trash sightings in this area, so you can go clean it up, and those are like legendary trash pieces where you may not be leveled enough to see it, but you can go and look at it in the environment.
yeah,
Where I'm thinking like, the couch is an easy level one.
yeah.
The radioactive waste is really strong. It'd be like almost like taking damage going over there, so you have to have something strong to
Or
get
you'd
there,
have
or
to have a specific type of trash to be able
like
to pick certain
steel or
stuff
metal,
up.
right?
Yeah, like if you want a certain type of trash, you need a like an evolution requirement. You're gonna need like a specific type of trash in your trash person to be able to use that thing. Let me ask a question. I have an idea already, and I'll float this idea by you. But the enemies you're fighting, in my head, what it's gonna be it's gonna be the government officials, but they're gonna kind of be like, you know how in Monsters Inc. there's those dudes that are like the disinfected guys and they run around disinfecting people.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like that, but they're running around like spraying water down and stuff, and that's who you
that's
have to
that's
fight.
fantastic.
But I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
what I'm
think
thinking
of
too.
why the public won't be like, boo, why are you fighting the people that are cleaning our town,
Because
kid?
uh
In my head, they're gonna like
I
harass
think
and
it's not that.
destroy
I think they
personal property. Maybe like they'll like break pots. They don't care as long as it cleans. They don't care if you destroy your property doing so.
yeah, we can do that. Add a little hint of weirdness where you're like, why are these people? They're so weird. They're just
Yeah,
cleaning, and they don't really talk to anybody. They're just like kind of
yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So you can't
Just like
hear
the
them.
Monsters
But
Inc.
everyone,
people.
yeah,
And I also can maybe think like just mean to people. They'll shove people away. Make it very Team Rocket like, where they're like, they're not that bad, but they're just dickheads. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like Team Rocket never gets evil. Like in Team Star, they're not like evil. They're just kind of annoying. You know what I mean?
yeah, and they're outcasts with really great style.
Are they called Team Star and Scarlet?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I
they
thought
are.
they might have been called like Team Moon or some shit like that, or Team Sun. Or...
No, there was Team Skull in those games. So we got our main enemies here. I'm wondering if at the end of this game, like at the very, very end, you use your trashmen to I'm trying to think, should we call them trash peeps? Instead of trashmen, trash peeps.
Garbage people. Trash.
Garbeeples.
Trash, garbage, waste.
Garmanity. Anyway, I was thinking at the end, you'll definitely use all your little entities to fight, and then it's going to be your team. But at the very, very end, I want to have a kaiju battle where they send out like some industrial machine, and then you combine all your spirits into one big one with all the trash that you've accumulated from them, and they become their own being. But right at the end, so it's not going to be like you abandon all of the mechanics. It would just be, this is the last thing.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I imagine that's the only way to end this game.
I don't know what to do though, because once you demolish them, oh, you know what could happen at the end of the game for New Game Plus? Once you defeat and drive those people off, to keep the trash all under control, you create a new plant, which is where you held your other trash, and then also a recycling plant. And at the recycling plant, you have the opportunity to recycle the trash and make it new. And then you could have new, not garbage, people. Different
Or
forms.
instead of a New Game Plus, we do more like a...
Or Endgame.
I think we do like Pokemon, what is it? Ruby and Sapphire, where it's like, good job, you defeated this evil organization, but surprise, they're only a sub branch for a giant trash organization across the entire world, and they're like the world government, and they control all these other places, and they're trying to do the same thing to all these towns. So you gotta go and save all these others, and then we just leave you on a cliffhanger. Introducing Garbage 2. Too much.
Have y'all heard of batteries? No.
Battery acid?
And then, or we make it really epic, where all of a sudden your main character has hair flowing, and you're like, "Where is he? There's seagulls, waves crashing. Oh my god, he's on the trash float in the middle of the ocean." It just shows like a huge, like the kaiju coming out of the water, because you know that trash island that's the size of Texas.
Yeah.
Do we want items in this game? Do we want heals? And also, what kind of heal are you doing? Like, I don't know why I think like you can't sit there and be like, oh my god, my trash people's about to die. You take out a burger, you start eating it. You finish the burger. You crumple up the wrapper, throw it into it, like it heals. How are you gonna?
I think there could
Or
be
is there
some
even
heal
healing?
where it's like just the scrap garbage that you collect throughout the game when your trash people die and stuff like that. You just have scraps or whatever, right? And then you could use the
Well, yeah, we'll
scraps
call them
to
scraps
you could use scraps to heal people up.
and hardy scraps for bigger heals.
Yeah, and then like you could that's what the scraps are for. You could just patch them up, and then you could get special scraps that if you put them onto one of your garbage people, it'll imbue a special stat boost that whatever that scrap was from. If like maybe a really powerful trash person died, they left a scrap that was imbued with their power a little bit, and then you like put it onto another Pokemon, or not Pokemon, another trash person to heal
That's gonna
them.
get us in trouble.
They'll gain a little bit of that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm thinking like chows, which dates us. You know, like little chow eggs.
Yeah, like I was like, you mean their eggs? Yeah.
Exactly. So super looking forward to that. How do you want these things to slowly, I guess the trash, after enough pieces of trash, they'll eventually change physical form? Or do you think, I mean, I guess this game is up to our imagination. So could we have them slowly change with each piece of trash they eat?
I think how it's gonna work is what we'll do is kind of be like when we'll have a whole UI system and a menu system that's all pretty and maybe the opposite of pretty, just fucking disgusting and grimy and gross, but it'll be an upgrade system where every time you want to add trash to your creatures, you could choose a area of the body to add that part, and then you'll add it to that part, and then it'll give that thing that you added a characteristic to that area and also make it visually different in that area, and then you could only have so many in that side, right? And so it'd be like legs, arms, torso, head, right? And you could just keep adding, and then eventually it'll max out, and then maybe like we won't let you add a sofa for the right leg because the left leg then it would be unbalanced or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there would be like unbalanced things that you can't, the game will just not let you do, but for the most part you have pretty big freedom. But if you had two sofas, yeah, go for it. Make them both the legs or something like that, you know?
Yeah. All right, I like it.
And like your garbage person's power level will determine if like they could even have a certain piece added to them. Like if your garbage person is too small to add a TV to it, then it would be like, well, you just can't add it yet. You have to upgrade your garbage person by this much power to be able to add this item, type of thing.
Right. What music are we listening to here? I feel like the soundtrack's gonna have to be important because it's gonna be a lot of exploration.
You know that genre of music that everyone gets into, not everyone gets into, but everyone's forced to listen to in middle and high school, where the drum line comes up and they put a bunch of trash cans and paint buckets and broomsticks.
And now, live in Vegas.
And it's
He's so amazing. And then all of a sudden, I remember there being like a sexy version where all of a sudden they had their shirts off and there was water on the lids of the very,
or like
so that so it starts splashing. Yeah, you got it right. And I'm just like, oh, that's messy.
Yeah. So essentially the soundtrack, Blue Man
Garbage cans. Yeah, with garbage cans. Okay, that's great. Not orchestratic and not jazz punk.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Blue Man
Pricing. How much are you willing to pay for this game?
I mean, if it's what I'm thinking it's gonna be.
What's gonna look like? I think it's gonna look nice. It's gonna look good. Dragon Quest 11.
Oh, I think Dragon Quest 11's essentially because Dragon Quest 11 doesn't look amazing, but it looks
Or do you want to do Final Fantasy 7 remake?
No, I think it's gonna look like Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
No. We can do better than that. It's gonna be on consoles.
Like I think it's gonna look like
You like Danganronpa. Just
I
have a bunch
guess
of cardboard people everywhere.
so. I think what the garbage people are gonna look like are gonna be like the characters from Knack, but the art style is gonna be more like Digimon, Pokemon, or like
Ghibli.
yeah, Ghibli.
I think it's gonna be where for some reason you're like, I love that old lady just tends to her shop and like waters plants.
Yeah. The trash is all gonna look like really cute and colorful.
I like it. All right, Jay, get your timer out because we're gonna name this game and we're gonna have a hard time because we've been trying to name this game all episode.
Yeah, we have. I mean, all right, go. I mean, we garbage people. That's what we've been referring to them.
Um,
I mean, do you like gar
what
peeps?
if we call them Gomis? What if we call it Gomi and we call it Gomis? Because trash in Japanese is Gomi.
Like
Look,
Gomez?
Gomi.
I don't hear it. How do you spell it?
Okay. Gomi.
Sure, Gomi. 31 seconds.
Gomi is a video game where you play as someone who grew up on the island. You can choose whoever you want to be. You can choose your body style. All that's customizable. And you find out that there is a cleaning corporation here to sanitize your town and change it for the worse due to all this trash being found. So you go, along with the spirits of the island who inhabit the trash, to move it, clean your town, and battle the evil corporation trying to take it over in Gomi. All right. Now that we have a complete game, what do you think? Would this be a game you'd want to play, and is it fun?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll give it a shot. It doesn't seem like it seems like it has a fun mechanic. I always love when you could like make your character look different throughout the game. You know what I mean? Like when you equip a new weapon, it shows up as a new weapon. You know, it's not
And
just
for the
same
most
weapon.
part, you're going to be unique.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'll give it a shot. I think it'll be a fun little adventure. We'll see if I ever finish it though. How about you?
Oh yeah, this is appealing to all of my sensibilities. Every single one, from Bug Snacks to Pokemon to Digimon to Chow eggs. The only thing that's going to be off is we're using trash, but
Yeah.
otherwise, and that's going to be interesting in itself. And I think it's going to have maybe a little bit of environmental awareness. So, what game studio would you assign to be able to make Gomi the best?
The first one that I feel like is obvious and what I've been thinking about this entire time is Japan Studio, specifically the people behind Neck, just because they are used to making a bunch of particles go into a character and have that also chip off as you keep playing, you know?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I was honestly thinking for myself level 5, which was the
Mhm.
developers of Nino Kuni.
Also, Dark Cloud, never forget.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, I think, they're a game developer that I really liked one of their early games. It wasn't that popular, but I liked it. But they came out with a more recent game called Concrete Genie, but Pixel Opus. Just because Concrete Genie definitely had that vibe. It was about this island boy who's getting picked on by these bullies, and he decides to beautify the town on his own because that's what he wants to do and make this town beautiful again because it's kind of worn down now. So it's a similar vibe. So I think Pixel Opus, with their experience with Concrete Genie, they could do a bigger game.
And I think for me, I still think Atlas would be able to do it, even with the soundtrack that we have and everything like that. I think they'd be able to make a cool little. If we made it where that kid was only there for the summer, I think they'd go with that and run with it. That way, if we add maybe more of a early Pikmin time style where it's like you only have until the end of the summer to save this town.
Yeah. I wish Atlas would just make Persona clones and then spin offs of Persona clones and stop everything else they do. Like that's all.
Have
I want
you? I don't know why I got kind of like a. I got Cosby voice. I was like, have you? um, there's that game that's out where you play as the internet. It's like a girl with green hair,
What?
and it's like a Persona clone to me because you're battling with these monsters that are from Persona.
No, I've never heard of this. Is it from
Soul
them?
Hackers.
Oh, Soul
Yeah.
Hackers. No, that's on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, you haven't gotten the chance.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
haven't
That's
had
right.
the
That's right. That's right.
you
And with that,
this is such not for what this podcast is for, but dude, you see next month, this month's PlayStation Plus offering Mass Effect,
I
Legendary
was so
Edition,
excited.
and
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked.
all the games that I bought recently and never really got to play. I'm like, man, that sucks, because the other game is really cool too. Anyway, close out the show.
Bangers. I
Really good
know.
month.
Because I didn't due to buying Pokemon and God of War, I didn't buy anything for the Black Friday sale. And I was like, am I gonna regret this? And then the PS Plus just came out. I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
I got a lot to play.
Yeah.
And with that, our 233rd IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to give us extra support, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. For just $1, patrons receive episodes early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you got the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. And we talk about the games we're playing. So if you want to hear about Mass Effect, we're going to get there. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review Gomi, the video game we just created today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is AG.
And I'm J.E.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs.
Biomutant. That's the other free PS Plus game, so you can run around.
Which I'm
as a
happy
fucking
about.
rodent.
Yeah. Because that game hits me, it scratches an itch,
Yeah.
but it's not something I would buy.
I was like, it's a game that you would want to give a shot, but you're definitely not going to pay the money that I paid for and get super disappointed.
No.
by it. Now
I did
for free
pay-
and love it.
I did play a trial. You're right. Exactly. The entry price is going to make it really fun for
Yeah.
me because it's going to be one of those mindless games.
I think you're actually going to like Biomutant a lot. If anything, you're just going to love the character creator, and then that's as far as you're
Yeah.
going to get.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to making another one because I
Yeah.
made like a monk character that had like lightning palm strikes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see.
Biomutant was such a disappointment for me, but like I was like, this it looks cool, everything about it, but playing it was really boring. Like I didn't like the open world and running around and stuff like that.